My wife cheated on me, and I'm still processing the fallout. Hey Reddit, throwaway account here. I needed a space to process everything without judgment. I've been married to my wife, Emily, for 6 years. We met in college, and it felt like a fairy tale. We shared everything: friends, dreams, and a love for dogs. But lately, things felt off. I brushed it off as life getting busy, but I should have trusted my gut. The first warning signs. About 6 months ago, I noticed changes. Emily became distant, less affectionate, more glued to her phone. Her girls' nights went from once a month to at least once a week. When I asked, she'd roll her eyes, saying, "You're being paranoid." Then there was her sudden obsession with the gym. She'd leave early and come back smelling like someone else's cologne. I convinced myself it was just her commitment to fitness. The discovery. A few weeks ago, I had a gut feeling. One night, while she was in the shower, I checked her phone. I know it was a violation of trust, but I was desperate. What I found shattered me. Texts from a guy named Jake. The flirtation was evident. They exchanged heart emojis and talked about meeting up. It felt like a gut punch. I felt sick and put the phone down, wishing I could unsee it. I confronted her later that night. My heart raced as I tried to find the right words. I wanted to stay calm, but my emotions were overwhelming. The confrontation. "Emily, can we talk?" I managed to say. She looked surprised, then defensive. I found some texts. I held my breath. Her face drained of color. What the hell is going on? Instead of anguish, she laughed. A cruel, mocking laugh. "You really thought I'd never notice? You're pathetic. If you paid attention to me instead of your work, this wouldn't be happening." Confusion washed over me. "So it is true? You're cheating on me?" My voice cracked. Her response was cold. "You can't own me. I need more than this life we've made. I've found it." She tossed her hair back dismissively. I wanted to scream, to cry, but I just stood there, dumbfounded. Emotional fallout. After she left the room, my world collapsed. Anger turned into self-doubt. Was I not enough? I spent days in a fog, watching the walls of my home, once cozy, now felt like a prison. I was drowning in betrayal. Friends noticed my mood swings. I couldn't pretend anymore. I told my closest buddy Mark everything. He listened without judgment, his eyes filled with empathy. The decision. After a week of sleepless nights, I decided enough was enough. I couldn't stay in a relationship where I was so easily discarded. I filed for divorce. It wasn't easy. Doubt crept in. Part of me thought about fighting for her, but my self-respect screamed louder. Reflection. Now as I write this, I see the experience as a brutal lesson in self-worth. I'm learning to reclaim my identity outside the use I had become accustomed to. To anyone in a similar situation, trust your instincts. If something feels off, dig deeper. It's better to uncover the truth early than let it fester. Life's too short to be with someone who doesn't value you. I'm still processing the hurt, but I'm rediscovering myself. I'm learning to prioritize my happiness and surround myself with those who genuinely care. I hope this reaches someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for reading.
Hey Reddit, I'm a 34-year-old guy, and I've been married to my wife, Sarah, 31, for 8 years. Our relationship began as a whirlwind romance, full of laughter, shared dreams, and what felt like an unbreakable bond. Like any couple, we faced ups and downs, but the past year has been particularly challenging, burdened by work stress and life's usual hurdles. I thought we were just in a rut, but now I see that was merely the surface. I noticed changes in Sarah. She grew distant, often working late and claiming she was overwhelmed. My intuition sensed something was off, but I dismissed it. Life happens, right? Then came her phone. She began taking it everywhere, clutching it protectively if I even glanced at it. When I asked, she laughed it off, calling me paranoid. One evening, while Sarah was out with friends, I cleaned the house. While sorting through papers, I found an envelope hidden in her desk. Inside was a hotel receipt for a place I recognized but hadn't heard her mention. My heart sank. I tried to rationalize it, thinking maybe it was a work retreat. But then I found more receipts, all from the same hotel. The real shock came when I checked our shared computer. I wasn't searching for anything, but curiosity got the better of me. I found texts between Sarah and someone named Jake. The messages were flirty and intimate, one saying, "I can't wait for our next weekend together." It felt like a punch to the gut. When Sarah returned, I couldn't hold back. I confronted her, shaking and struggling to stay steady. "What's going on with you and Jake?" I asked, tears in my eyes. Her reaction was cold, almost rehearsed. Instead of denial, she scoffed, saying, "Oh, please, you're being ridiculous. It's nothing serious." I pressed her, and she eventually confessed, but her tone lacked any remorse. She claimed I had neglected her and pushed her into someone else's arms. I felt like I was losing my mind. I tried to reason with her, but she turned it back on me, painting herself as the victim. "You just don't understand what I need," she said, eyes narrowing. After that night, I felt foggy, oscillating between anger and despair. I replayed every moment, questioning everything. Was I really that blind? The man I loved was slipping away, and I couldn't grasp how everything fell apart so quickly. I felt humiliated, betrayed, and utterly lost. I started doubting my worth, thinking I hadn't done enough as a husband. Eventually, I made the hardest decision of my life. I filed for divorce. It felt like a weight lifted, but the pain remained, each day a reminder of my loss. Now, weeks later, I realized this experience has changed me. I focused on self-care, reconnecting with friends and family, and rediscovering what makes me happy. I'm still angry and hurt, but I'm learning to forgive myself for being vulnerable and loving deeply. To anyone in a similar situation, trust your instincts. Don't ignore the red flags. It's okay to ask questions and seek the truth, even if it's painful. Surround yourself with supportive people, and remember, you deserve love and respect. Thanks for reading my story. I just needed to share.
My wife cheated on me after 10 years together. Here's my story. Hey, Reddit. I never thought I'd share something like this, but I could really use some advice and support. I'm a 34-year-old man, and I've been married to my wife, Sarah, for 10 years. We met in college and had a beautiful relationship, sharing everything from dreams about the future to daily annoyances. We laughed, cried, and built a life together. Warning signs. About a year ago, I began noticing changes in her behavior. She seemed distant, glued to her phone, and often left the room to take calls. I attributed it to work stress or a project consuming her time. The late nights at the office, I believed her when she said she was just trying to get ahead. But deep down, I felt a nagging discomfort. Then came the small things. Her sudden obsession with her appearance, spending hours at the gym and being secretive about her phone. When I asked, she brushed it off, claiming it was just her trying to feel better about herself. I wanted to believe her, but I could sense the growing distance. The discovery. The turning point came one evening while cleaning the living room. I stumbled upon a receipt for a hotel, dated a week prior, with a name I didn't recognize. My heart sank. I confronted her, and she laughed it off as a girls' night that got out of hand. I wanted to trust her, but something shifted inside me. A few weeks later, while she was out, I checked her phone. I know it was wrong, but I was desperate for answers. I found a string of messages that left me breathless. Flirtatious texts, heart emojis, and plans to meet up. The final message was a dagger to my heart. "I can't wait to see you again. This feels so right." I was frozen, and the world felt like it was collapsing. The confrontation. When she got home, I was a mess. I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Sarah, we need to talk." I managed, my voice trembling. She looked confused, and then it all spilled out. I showed her the messages, my hands shaking with anger and hurt. Her reaction? Instead of remorse, she became defensive. "You went through my phone? Really? That's low," she said, her eyes flashing with anger. The conversation spiraled quickly. She denied everything at first, twisting the narrative to make me feel like the bad guy for invading her privacy. Finally, she admitted to the affair, but only when I cornered her with undeniable evidence. "I'm not happy, okay? I haven't been for a long time," she yelled. But instead of seeking resolution, she seemed more concerned with justifying her actions than apologizing. I felt blindsided and helpless. The woman I thought I knew had turned into a stranger. Emotional fallout. The aftermath was surreal. I went through waves of shock, anger, and deep sadness. I replayed our life together, searching for missed clues. Was it all a lie? I doubted myself relentlessly. Was I not enough? How could she do this to us? I spent nights awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling the weight of betrayal crushing my soul. Friends and family noticed my change in demeanor, but I found it hard to open up. Everyone tells you to talk about your feelings, but sometimes it's just too painful to share the chaos within. The decision. After weeks of turmoil and sleepless nights, I made my decision. I couldn't stay in a relationship that had shattered my trust. I filed for divorce. It felt like reclaiming a small piece of myself, even though it hurt. Sarah fought back, claiming we could work on things, but I realized the foundation had crumbled beyond repair. Reflection. Now that some time has passed, I have begun to heal. It's a slow process, but I'm rediscovering who I am outside of our marriage. I've picked up hobbies I had abandoned, reconnected with old friends, and started therapy. To anyone reading this, if you feel that nagging doubt in your relationship, don't ignore it. Trust your instincts. Seek help when things feel heavy. You deserve honesty and respect. And if you're not getting that, it's okay to walk away. Life is too short to be with someone who doesn't value you. I'm still navigating this rough patch, but I'm learning to rebuild, one step at a time. Stay strong, everyone. Your worth is not defined by someone else's betrayal.